I'm Dante. I run Dante Sports Data. We find the most consistent players and teams across all sports every single day so you don't have to guess. Today we're going to be talking about teaser bets, how you can use them to your advantage, and some of the things that you need to look out for when betting teasers. So what is a teaser? A teaser is a parlay where you move the line. You can move the line on every single bet that you choose, and you move all the lines at once. You can choose a 5-point teaser, 6-point teaser, you can do a 4-point teaser, but I'm going to show you how you can use this to your advantage in order to get an edge on the sportsbook. Teasers are lower risk on individual legs, but you're going to have a little bit of a lower payout in like parlays, all legs must win. So let's say the sportsbook set the Lakers line for today at minus 8.5 points. So that's the main line. Then we have the Suns, and the book set the Suns line for this particular day at plus 2.5. What we can do is we can tease these lines. We can do what's called a 4-point teaser. It doesn't have to be 4 points. We could do a 5-point teaser. We could do a 6-point teaser, but for this case we're going to do a 4-point teaser. And what happens is we're going to get the Lakers line at minus 4.5, and then we're going to get the Suns line at plus 6.5. So if we were to play both these lines together in a parlay, we might get around, or a little better, plus 200 odds, depending on what the odds are originally. But for this one, we're getting more favorable lines, but the odds might be around plus 100, give or take, maybe a little bit worse, maybe a little better. It's just going to depend on what the odds are for those legs. So when are these teasers strong? When are the best times to use teasers? Teasers are best used on spreads. It's not always the best to use them on team totals. You're not going to be able to get as much of an edge. They're really good with spreads. It's best to keep it simple. Do 2 to 3 leg teasers. 2 is obviously going to be safer. The less legs you have, the safer and more consistent you're going to be. And this part is huge. Use points to get through key margins. So especially in the NFL, if you're teasing, let's say a team has a line and it's plus, I don't know, 1.5, or we might have plus 4.5. We can tease these lines to get a better line. So for example, the plus 1.5, which they would have to be within a point, we could tease it to plus 3.5, and then that way they can be within a field goal and that bet still wins. Versus plus 1.5, we're not going to win that bet if they lose by a field goal, but if we were able to tease it down, we're giving ourselves a more favorable line. Same with plus 4.5. Now we would have to tease this 3 points to get through our line. Now you could do 2 points, a 2-point teaser like this, and you still would have a better number at plus 6.5, because now you are within 2 field goals, but you could even tease it more to plus 7.5, and now you're within a touchdown. So that can be a very beneficial way as well to get past key numbers. Same with the NBA. Might be more beneficial, let's say, to be within 6 points rather than 5, because 6 points would be either 2 3-point baskets or 3 2-point baskets. So you can still use this same concept, but it can be a great way to get past those key margins. Now, what not to do with teasers. A lot of things in sports betting are knowing what not to do. And one of the biggest things, probably the biggest rule when it comes to teasers, is to never cross 0. And I'm going to show you in a minute why you never want to cross 0, and I'll explain what that looks like. And also, generally, you shouldn't tease totals or big favorites. You want to use these in favorable situations. Let's say an NBA score is plus 18.5 and you're teasing it to, I don't know, plus 22.5. You're not really helping yourself that much. It's still just such a big number. Versus if it's a really tight matchup and Vegas thinks it's going to be a really close game, you can use teasers to get past those key numbers and give yourself much more of a margin to work with. And just like in parlays, too many legs can absolutely burn you. You're increasing your risk every single leg that you add. BS happens all the time in sports betting, so you're giving yourself more of a shot to run into some BS when you do that. So why do you never want to cross 0? So let's say you have a team and the line is set at minus 1.5. As you're teasing this down, you get 0.5. You have to cross over 0, which is, well, not basically, it is an imaginary number. You're losing an entire point of that teaser when you're crossing over 0. Versus if the line's, I don't know, plus 6.5, and you're teasing it backwards, plus 7.5, plus 8.5, plus 9.5. Say we get to plus 9.5. We never had a pass 0, because when we pass 0, we're losing an imaginary point. I don't know about you, but I don't want to give the sportsbooks any more of an edge than they already have. They're already taking a small cut built into the odds with every single bet you place. We don't need to be giving them more of an edge and giving them imaginary numbers that do not exist. So there are 5 main rules that I would follow when you're doing teasers. Use teasers on spreads. Do not use them on totals. Keep it simple. We want to do 2 to 3 teams. The higher risk, the more teams that we add. We want to use points to improve real score ranges and get more favorable numbers. Like I mentioned, especially in the NFL, if you're teasing it to be within a field goal or within a touchdown and you're getting past those key numbers, that's some of the best times to use teasers. You're going to get those better numbers. So important. Ever cross 0. Don't ever cross 0. You're giving away an imaginary point to the sportsbook. It is not worth it. Find a different line to tease, or maybe it's not a good day for teasers. Maybe you don't like any of the lines for that day. It's always okay to pass. You don't have to force it if you have to cross 0. And avoid huge favorites and adding a bunch of legs. Every single leg that you add, the higher risk this bet's going to become. Yes, you're going to get a higher payout, but you're going to be much more consistent and be able to pull a better profit over time if you're playing these safer legs and not doing 4, 5, 6 leg teasers. I hope this video helped. If it did, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't. Going to be dropping a lot of new content on this channel, a lot of different strategies and different ways to bet. Here is another video to watch, and I will see you in the next one.